hither. Come hither. Hey, look, look. Oh, she's biting the camera thing. Hey, Prudence, I have a treat for you. Oh, the joys of having a puppy, huh? So fun. Come here. Prudence, look, treat. All right, you know what? I was going to wait for the introduction, but remember. All right, if you are tuning in on the YouTube, this is my dog. She's now going to be eating her treat, which is going to be kind of annoying, so I'm just going to... She's very treat motivated. But this is Prudence, all right? She is very energetic right now because she's only 3 months old. We actually got her... Let me get closer to the mic, sorry. We actually got her at a garden festival. We weren't really looking for a dog, all right? This all happened kind of by accident. So it's funny. We were at a nursery, like a garden nursery, and they had a festival for spring going on. This was last month, April, and there's this lady there selling her puppies. And I was like, that looks like a dachshund. And I've grown up with dachshunds my whole life. They're the best, in my opinion. They're so funky and spunky and hilarious. She's actually half dachshund, though. She's half dachshund, half Pomeranian, and I love her. I'm going to put her down now, but there you go. Okay, she's all over my Instagram. So definitely go check that out. Powerful Hippie is my Instagram, by the way. But she's only 3 months old, so she is teething. She's energetic. She's exhausted. When she's tired, she just hits the wall and then crashes out. And then she'll take a nap for an hour or so. But she's awesome. She's great. She's the light of our lives. And my husband and I are so blessed to have her. We wanted a dog, but we weren't looking actively. So the joke in my family really is now she has found us. So I'm getting all my mics together. Because again, having a 3-month-old puppy on a podcast, not the easiest. But I promised you in the last episode that I would have her in this week's episode. And here we are. Again, she's on my Instagram a lot. I have a whole highlight for her. I'm not making an Instagram page for her. Nothing against people that do that. You know, that's totally up to you. I just don't want to do that right now. I don't ever want to do that. All right, here's the sad thing. I follow so many dogs on Instagram, like Crusoe and all the popular wiener dogs especially. And I love it. They're great. But if they get injured and pass away or something sad like that, it's heartbreaking to see, right? So I've just realized I can't follow them anymore. Like, I'm trying not to follow so many dog pages because they're so sad. They're so adorable, but it's so sad when, you know, things happen. And then unfortunately, you know, dogs are not here forever. I had 2 dachshunds, Gretel and Mr. Tibble. 14. Gretel was 14 and she was awesome. She's a short. She's long hair, smaller, kind of the runt of her litter, miniature dachshund. And then Tibble was a short hair, bigger miniature dachshund. So Gretel was like 10 pounds and Tibble was like 15, 16. We don't know how big she's going to get because Prudence is half Pomeranian. They're only like 12, 13 pounds at the most. Dachshunds can be upwards of 15 to 20 pounds depending on the dachshund, miniature dachshund. So mom was a dachshund, dad was a Pomeranian, and we don't know if she's going to get fluffy or if she's going to be short hair like the mom. We're still, you know, learning her. I'm going to have a puppy podcast episode. I don't know if that's going to be next week or the week after, but it's going to be the next couple of weeks. What I've learned, do's and don'ts of having a puppy because we've had her for over a month now. So that's definitely coming, but she's awesome. She's spunky. She's hilarious. She can jump up on her own chair outside. She is so independent. She picked me from the litter, by the way. She came up to me and was like, take me home. And after a week of consulting and thinking about it, we ended up just like, yeah, we're getting this puppy because she was awesome and she's independent. And, you know, I'm with her a lot. So I like the idea of her being independent, me not having to get another dog to keep her company because I'm an only child and I love being an only child. And I think she's the same way. So we feel each other. Right, dog? Yeah. She's looking for her bone. I think she ate it all. And the name Prudence came because I'm a huge Beatles fan. Again, Beatles posters, Beatles everywhere. I have the same birthday as John Lennon, so I'm a huge Beatles fan. All right, well, anyway, that was Prudence. She's in the background, so I might have to pause the YouTube and or the Spotify podcast and come back and take care of her if she happens to have an accident and or wanders off and I don't know where she's going, because she has a bone right here, but I don't know if she's gonna sit there and play with it because she's into everything else. Oh, she's coming back. All right, come here. Well, now she wants to play. I'm gonna have to ignore her. If you hear squeaking, I'm so sorry. Yeah, she's in a funny mood today. Oh, all right. I'm gonna. She's squeaking around. Well, I'm gonna pause this and come right back. Just give me 1 second. Okay. Sorry about that. Again, I will say I'm still learning the whole puppy thing. I've never had a puppy until Prudence. The dogs that I've had in my family, we got when they were almost 1 year old and almost 3 years old. So, you know, they already had their personalities. They were already potty trained. They already didn't chew on everything. They weren't energetic and like, you know, crazy. So I'm still learning the puppy thing, but I have learned a lot. So I'm excited to come back with the tips and tricks for the whole puppy episode. That's either going to be next episode again or the one after that. But thank you for joining. I know I've been crying puppy the last couple episodes, so I felt guilty. I was like, I have to have her on. Of course, she's in one of those really playful moods. I just want to bite everything. I just want to chew on everything. I just want to play, even though she's already had like a nap or two today, whatever. That's just how puppies are, you know. So thank you again for tuning into the podcast. Thank you so much for coming on. If you're on YouTube, Spotify, X, Y, and Z, my name is Haley. Again, I'm trying to put on a video and or podcast episode every week or every other week. And I do have Instagram. I'm promoting all the time on Instagram. It's Powerful Hippie. So please follow me there for all of the latest and the greatest and all the fun things. Speaking of fun things, I did a thing. So I used to represent different supplement companies in the past. One has had a brand change. One was Cage Muscle. I represented them in like 2016-ish, 2015, 2016. I was their brand ambassador. So I did like, you know, the supplement demos. I would give out samples. I would talk about information. When I worked at Vitamin Shop, I was a part-time manager there. You know, all those fun things. So anyway, I've been doing supplements in the past. I've been a supplement fan. I'm a natural power lifter, bodybuilder, power builder, if you will. And I love taking supplements because, again, to reach your health and fitness goals, if you're not 100% with your nutrition, even still, you might need to supplement depending on your goals. So I take creatine every day. I take multivitamin fish oil. I take ashwagandha. It's like a relax and restore supplement from Vitamin Shop. I take magnesium, vitamin D. I take all these different things, and I've got my blood work done and my hormones checked, and I'm perfect, which is crazy to say because I've had some hormonal issues in the past. When I was on the birth control pill, I did talk about that. I think the last episode or the one before that. So long story short, health is a big part of my life, and I love supplementation. So taking supplements is really important, whether it's for your health and or fitness goals, or just because you want to be, you know, the best version of yourself, X, Y, and Z. And or maybe your doctor or dietitian or someone in your life recommends certain supplements. Try it, you know, they're great. But all this to say, I used to do Cage Muscle, and then I sponsored Metabolic Nutrition, but now I didn't mean to spill the tea, but I just kind of did. Now I am a brand ambassador and representative for Redcon One supplements. Woo! That's exciting to me because I've been using their products for so long, probably 5 or 6 years, because my husband Dylan got me onto them, and because I couldn't do whey protein, like it messes up my stomach. I'm just very sensitive to dairy. And a lot of people do get inflamed by it, whether you're lactose intolerant or whatever. So I just couldn't do a ton of dairy, and whey protein was just not feeling good for me. So the reason I actually started using Redcon was because they have a whole food protein that is animal and plant-based, which is not dairy-based, which is awesome. So it's like egg protein, beef protein, there's some pea protein, there's like different it's like a blend, right? It's like 24, 25 grams of protein for one serving. Pretty low carb, zero sugar, etc. High in fiber. And I put it on my yogurt bowls. I put it in my oatmeal smoothies. I put it just with water. I'm that crazy person. I can put it in a shaker bottle just with water. So I've been using Redcon supplements for almost 5 or 6 years now. I've never had digestive issues because of that, in my opinion. Never felt bloated, never felt icky. A lot of whey proteins, even isolates on the market, make you feel like, some type of way. Never felt that with Redcon. And it's funny too, a different supplement company reached out to me recently and they were like, hey, we love your social media, X, Y, and Z. Do you want to sponsor us? And I was thinking about it because they were very aggressive in their marketing and awesome in my opinion, but I never used their supplements. And that brand was Legion Supplements, I believe is the name. I just was a little bit like on the fence because, not to say that they're not a great supplement company, but I've just never used their products. And I just don't want to talk about products that I don't use. Sorry, I'm just that kind of person. I'm very like, I'm not selling you anything. I'm giving you information because I've tried it. I've been the guinea pig. I've used it. I've done the research. And this is why I like this company. So I've been doing a lot of research and I started taking their Double Tap, which is like a fat burner pre-workout. It is a lot of caffeine. So if you're sensitive to caffeine, do what I do because I had a full scoop yesterday. Woo! Let me tell you. It was almost midnight and I was just like still, up. Even though I had taken it like 8 or 9 hours before that, at least. Even my husband was like, you need to chill. I was confused. I was like, what's going on with me? It's 260 milligrams of caffeine per serving. It's a fat burner, thermogenic. There's other stuff in it to make you feel, more energized, X, Y, and Z, all those wonderful things in pre-workouts. So I've been trying that product. Again, I'd taken it before, but it's been years. And then creatine. So those are my top 3 products. And Redcon's awesome. They have apparel, leggings, shirts, tank tops, all the things, all the different pre-workouts. I know that they're very well known for all their different pre-workouts. So find the one that works for you. But I like the Double Tap Energizing Fat Burner. I am trying to burn some fat right now. And I'm drinking my pre-workout because I'm about to go crush legs. So I do have a lovely discount code for you. Please use it. It's Powerful Hippie altogether. POWERFULHIPPIE. I will include the link in the show notes on Spotify and or the description on the YouTube. Please use my code. All right. I am not an athlete, so I only get paid in referrals. And I'm not trying to make this as my living, but that would be really cool because I'm going to be putting out a lot of content. I've already put out a couple of different things only within one day because I actually do love this company and this brand, and I'm very excited to be partnering with them because I've been using them for years and I've just been lazy-ish and not reached out to them to represent them, but I'm very excited to represent them. So again, do your research, consult with, different people if you have health conditions and you're not sure. But they do have non-stim options if you can't do caffeine. So look at all their options. They're fantastic. But today's episode is all about inspiration from different facets and people in my life and fitness community that I've been following on social media over the last 10 years that I just really think that all need some love right now and some shout outs. If you are not familiar with these people, you need to be. They're fantastic people. So we're going to get into that in a second. I've decided now, since I'm still getting new to the whole podcast, getting my feelers, I really wanted to talk about kind of every week inspiration in general or something funny that's going on in my life. So kind of on the same lines as the whole puppy dog. Yesterday, I was sharing on social media, it was a great day. I'm having coffee with my puppy because there's this pup coffee called Barquista. It's goat's milk. It's different various mushrooms for gut health and immune support and like cinnamon and pumpkin. So it's very clean for dogs. So I have my morning coffee with my puppy and she has her morning coffee. And I was just like sharing that on social media. And it looks so perfect. It looks so glamorous, right? Well, let me bring you down to reality. All right. Before that, my dog tried to eat my earplug and I had to get her to throw it up. I had to literally grab it, and she was like, ugh, you know, it was a whole thing. And so that happened, and that was very scary. And now I'm not wearing those earplugs anymore, if not any at all, because puppies, they're like babies. They want to try and touch and eat everything, and that's just how they explore the world, but they can get sick. So you just definitely have to watch them, man. That's going to be all about the episode. So anyway, I just thought how funny that was compared to what was really happening on social media. I'm not going to talk about my dog eating my earplug and throwing it up, you know? And then later in the day, after we had our pup coffee together, I accidentally stepped in her poop and tracked it in the house outside, walked in with it, and it was on my shoes. So then I had to clean up my shoes, clean up the floor, mop the floor with disinfectant. So again, am I going to talk about my dog eating the earplug or me stepping in her poop and walking in my house on social media? No. And I just wanted to say this and remind you that nobody's life is perfect. My life is definitely not perfect. I'm not trying to say it's perfect on social media, but I'm also not going to try to bring people down on social media. Maybe I should be more real, like, hey, you know, this is what's happening. But I already feel like there's so much negativity in the world, and there's a lot of negative, anxiety, you know, riddled things going on in people's lives. The last thing I want to do is add stress and negativity to people's lives. I don't expect people to follow me like an influencer or whatever. I don't expect people to say, oh, this person has all their stuff figured out. I don't. And I just want to remind you that social media is not real life, because I'm never going to be like 100% explicit about what's going on in my personal life on social media. It's nobody's business unless I feel the need to share, if it's a call to action or something, whatever. Even still, though, I don't want to be negative on social media, but I just wanted to remind you that when you see things, I've fallen victim to this too. Not even just famous people, but people that I've known from like high school and college, right? They'll post their lives. It looks so glamorous. It looks like they're getting wine in the countryside, and they're going to Pilates, they're doing hot yoga, they're going to tea time, blah, 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 coffee. Like, you know, it looks glamorous. And maybe even me with my morning routine in my garden, and I try to, like, you know, have a great day. But again, want to caution you with social media. Most people, if not 95 or more percentage of the people that use social media, like Instagram, TikTok, Facebook, all the things, they're not going to tell you all the crap that's going on in their life. They're not going to tell you they stepped in dog shit and tracked it in their house. They're not going to tell you that their dog almost threw up completely just because they ate the earplug. They're not going to tell you all that negative stuff. Why? They don't want to bring you down. So again, next time you think you're having a crappy day and you see somebody having a better time than you on social media, don't forget, nobody's perfect. Maybe they're having a great day. Maybe they're having a semi-okay day. Maybe they had something bad, but they tried to make it a better day, and they're just putting it on social media. Social media is just like a little glimpse into someone's life. I'm trying to figure out how else I want to put this. Don't compare yourself to someone else's life, ever. Don't compare your chapter 15 to someone chapter 30, right? Everybody's chapter in life is different. Be respectful, be kind. Don't hate people. If people are just really ticking you off on social media and you're like, I can't follow this person anymore because they're bringing so much negativity, or you're jealous or envious, whatever, like Jimmy Buffett says, do not envy thy neighbor. Jimmy Buffett, rest in peace. But, you know, like, take everything with a grain of salt. I just felt like I had to get that off my chest, right? Because I feel like we don't talk about that enough. We really don't. I have been completely victim in the past of people comparing myself with other people, and thinking that other people have all their life and love life and house and health and wealth and job and all the things figured out. But I just want to remind you, even if someone's in freaking Jamaica or Bali and they're taking all the photos and you're so jelly, bruh, social media isn't real life. Let's say it for the people in the back, even influencers, even people with hundreds of thousands, not millions of followers. More than likely, they're just doing the best they can. But that doesn't mean that they're impervious to having a shitty day. Or they are doing the best they can in the moment, and they're trying to help people, and they're just trying to be positive. So again, just don't hurt, don't hate, don't disrespect thy neighbor. Stay in your lane. Keep your peace. No, social media is just social media. A way to connect, to see what's going on in people's lives. to learn stuff, to have fun, to laugh. That's it. All right. If we lost the internet tomorrow, we'd have to learn to live without it. Amen. So that was all I wanted to introduce kind of right now before I get into who inspires me and why, this list of amazing, beautiful people. I wanted to also discuss quick powerlifting tea because I forgot to talk about it last episode. So, excuse me. Powerlifting tea. I can't promise powerlifting tea, bodybuilding tea, health and fitness tea. And what that means is like gossip. What's going on in the world of powerlifting or bodybuilding or strongman or anything like that. Yes, I'm kind of in the strength and fitness community, but like I'm not up there. My dots is not crazy. I'm ranked on open powerlifting like 30 something thousand. Like y'all, I just do this for fun. This is not my career. Everybody knows me knows I'm an instructor, an academic advisor. Powerlifting and personal training is just my side hustle and for fun, right? And now I'm getting into bodybuilding. I'm trying my hand at that. I don't know if I'm going to compete. But the tea, and I'm sure a lot of people have realized this, especially if you're a coach, especially if you're actively competing, especially if you want to make it big time, is that the IPF, which is the International Powerlifting Federation, made up their minds to remove some stiff knee sleeves from their approved list. So what does that mean? That means that if you have these knee sleeves, you are no longer allowed to use these if you're competing in IPF or a division. So anyway, let's just talk about it. So this is from their website, and this was from April 7th, 2025, so about a month and a half ago. So it says, please be advised that the knee sleeves listed below will be removed from the IPF approved list of apparel and equipment for use at IPF competitions with immediate effect. Athletes will, however, be permitted to continue using these sleeves at IPF competitions until August 18th, 2025, but after which time these sleeves will not be permitted, which means allowed, in any events sanctioned by the IPF or its regional or national affiliates. The first one, Inzer Ergo Pro knee sleeve and Kona knee sleeves, Titan knee sleeves, Oni knee sleeves, Pro IPF, Strength Shop 7mm Inferno Pro knee sleeves, extra stiff, Hanzu 7mm knee sleeves, Vortex knee sleeves 7mm extra stiff, and the A7 Hourglass knee sleeves rigor mortis. I know that a lot of people are really mad about the Inzer, the Titan, and the A7 ones being banned because apparently those are the best. I've never tried those. I've only used the SBD knee sleeves. I don't even know which version of the SBD because I've had them for like 7 years. But according to analysis commissioned by the IPF and undertaken by independent laboratory, the above knee sleeves do not comply with being made of neoprene as defined in the IPF technical rules. So these sleeves must be constructed entirely of a single ply of neoprene or predominantly of a single ply of neoprene plus a non-supportive single layer of fabric over the neoprene. A neoprene is that wonderful material that is known for being kind of compression-y. A lot of wetsuits, like diving suits, are made of it, and that's what knee sleeves are made of, and even some of the singlets that you wear in competition. So like a various, but neoprene's really thick too, so there's different types of it. But anywho, thought that was interesting, wanted to share the tea. And whether or not you're up there, just be aware of guidelines. This is always a good reminder when you are competing, whatever organization, whether it's USAPL, USPA, IPF, Powerlifting America, all the other ones. There's so many organizations, federations out there. Make sure you're reading their website before you compete with stuff that's not allowed. Because if you don't have the right belt or the right shoes, the right socks, my socks were a little bit below the knee. If they still let me wear them, I almost didn't get to use my socks in my deadlift because they had to go like above the knee. But they didn't tell me that when I was checking equipment. Sometimes people forget. Always read the rule book. Now we are in the digital age, so always read the website, okay? Don't forget. Because on the day of the meet, you're going to be focused, locked in. The last thing you're going to remember is, do you have the right knee sleeves? Oops. They're going to check your equipment beforehand, though. So hopefully they'll tell you. But sometimes people make mistakes. And if you're wearing the wrong knee sleeves or whatever during your lift, especially if it's for a state or national PR attempt and you get it, they might not count the lift if it's not an approved equipment. That happened to me. They wouldn't count my lift because they forgot to check my equipment. They didn't tell me they needed to check my equipment after the lift. They didn't give me the lift, and I didn't get the state bench PR that I was supposed to get, the PR record. So anywho, that's today's powerlifting tea. So when I first started working out, 2014, 2015 in the gym, I had different people that I was following, but these people really helped me become the best version of myself. So I wanted to give them some love, tell them why I love them, or tell you why I love them. And maybe they're listening. That would be so cool if Arnold Schwarzenegger was listening to my podcast. I would love that, obviously. So, but these people, I still follow to this day. I still listen to what they have to say. I still believe that they are the best in the business for different reasons. So obviously the first one is Arnold Schwarzenegger. If you haven't seen his organizations and everything that he's put out, he has supplement company. He has a nutrition letter every week. He's still so in the game. Obviously he has his different events. He has the strongman bodybuilding, like whole, the Arnold Classic thing. I think it's in Ohio every year. I've never gone. I need to go. But he has just created an empire and has inspired so many people. And his documentaries, I think they're on Netflix. Let me see. Arnold Schwarzenegger documentaries. There's different ones. Yeah, I think they're on Netflix. They're on Netflix. So Arnold is one. That was the one that I think is the most recent one. And then there's the one like shaped by iron or something. Let me see. But it's really cool. I really liked it. What's the other one? It's going to bother me. Is it Pumping Iron? Pumping Iron, that's the one. So Pumping Iron, I think it's on YouTube. Maybe it's free. But Pumping Iron was the first one, and then the other one was Arnold. The other one was like a 3-part. So how he got into Hollywood, or how he got into fitness, how he got into Hollywood, and how he got into like politics. So it's definitely great. But the fact that he came from Austria, the fact that he came to America, that he was so driven, and that he's done everything he's done, including getting into politics, it's just so inspiring. And to this day, he's still doing all the things. I think it's so cool that he's putting out content. He has a team, supplements, all the things. So Arnold Schwarzenegger, always number one. So I still listen to his speeches, documentary. I can't talk today. Documentaries on, Netflix and YouTube. I still read his newsletters every week. I'm subscribed to them, and I think he's just amazing. So follow him. Obviously, if you haven't, at least listen to what he has to say. And he has books too. I've never read his original book, but he has a recent book that I read parts of, which is really cool too. I think we got it signed because he's just cool like that. So Arnold Schwarzenegger. The next people are Rob and Dana Lynn Bailey. So they have their own apparel line, supplements, businesses. She is a pro bodybuilder. He was a power lifter, Rob Bailey, and then now he's also, obviously they run their companies together, but he's also a musician, and he's had lots of awesome songs and tracks and movies and all these crazy things. So I love them. I love their content on Instagram. I think they're just fantastic people. And they're real people. I've never met them, but they seem so genuine. They pretty much sold everything and moved to a ranch in Montana, and they have like all these cool animals and dogs, and they're legit people. They're cool people. They're down to earth people, and they kind of like their own privacy and space, I feel like, but they are just very hard working champion people. They have their own like podcasts and all these things and YouTube and all this stuff. And their whole mantras are just like, be the best. That's it. So it's very inspiring. And so I've watched them over the years. But when I was getting into lifting, Dana Lynn Bailey was like, that was what she was doing. She was competing in powerlifting and bodybuilding. She was starting in powerlifting later, but she was number one bodybuilding. So that's why I started watching her, because I wanted to start in bodybuilding. So I was really inspired by Dana Lynn Bailey, and she's just always taking it to the next level, whether it's in her physical, mental, spiritual. She's just always taking it to the next level. And that's very inspiring, especially to see a female, because when I was getting into it, powerlifting and bodybuilding especially was dominated by men, just saying. So it's cool to see people like her at the top of their game, because she really, really is motivating. And she's just physique goals, she's strength goals, she's strong, she's just a badass. So I follow them, definitely recommend all that they're doing, and their music. I listen to Rob Bailey all the time. He has so many awesome albums. You've heard a song, I'm a motherfucking beast. You know, you've heard it. I'm not going to sing the whole song, but it's a great song. And it's also in Southpaw, the movie, I'm pretty sure. So he's really cool. So I did recommend earlier all the supplements that I've been taking, and I wanted to remind you of Chris Gethin's company, Cage Muscle, which is now Caged, but he started his own separate company called Unmatched Sups. But Chris Gethin, he's really cool. He's so cool. I've done so many of his programs on his website and YouTube. He has a bunch of YouTube tutorials. He's awesome. He's very motivating. He's so knowledgeable. He's an exercise scientist. He really cares about building your physique and supplementation. And I think regardless of gender and age, everything that he says will work if you just follow it. It's tough. His programs are really extreme, but that's why he looks the way that he does. And he's like 50 years old and he's killing it. And he's always also putting out new stuff and trying to learn more and bring you the best. And he's just awesome. So he's very inspiring. Definitely love Chris Gethin. The next one's Whitney Simmons. So again, when I was getting into the health and fitness thing, it was not easy to find people to look for, I guess, as motivation or inspiration or just ideas in general. But Whitney Simmons always had really cool workouts, always had ideas. I love that she had, you know, different kind of fit. And she was one of like the OG, in my opinion, next to Sarah's Day. But fit influencers on YouTube. She would do like food stuff and what I eat in the day and recipes and try on hauls for Gymshark, because she's also a Gymshark affiliate and like athlete. And she was always just really cool. I would watch when I was a teacher, by the way, I would watch Whitney Simmons videos every single day on my lunch break. So Whitney Simmons, you got me through a lot. And I know you've been through a lot, and I appreciate your vulnerability, and I just appreciate who you are, because you're inspiring to me for the whole YouTube thing, and so many people. You're awesome. I'm so grateful for you, Whitney Simmons. So definitely follow her on social media and YouTube. I feel like she's been through a lot, but she's very honest, and she's very like no BS, which the world needs, especially as a woman, man. We get lied to on social media so much. Please be honest. Please be authentic. That is cool. That is beautiful. That is sexy. That's awesome. That's the best thing that anybody could be on social media, is vulnerable and honest and cool and just themselves. Be yourself. You know, that goes back to the whole social media is a lie thing, I guess. But anywho, Whitney Simmons has always been herself, and I love that about her. Stacey Burr, also always herself. I actually met her at USPA Drug Tested Raw Nationals 2022 in Atlanta. I had a fangirl moment, and I was so nervous. And then I met her, and I think she saw me crash out on my last deadlift because I was going for 385, and I got it past my knees, and then I just gave up because I was so freaking tired. I was so freaking pissed. That's from White Chicks. But I was so embarrassed that I dropped 385 in front of Bama Burr, Stacey Burr, but also an amazing powerlifter athlete, just top of her game. It's just like amazing to see everything that she's done. Bodybuilding now, whoo, like killing it, just crazy. I love it. Motivational as crap. Podcast, just awesome in general. Same thing. On that same end of the spectrum, Jen Thompson, love you. Jen Thompson is a world record holding bench presser for a female. That's like really cool, because most women just don't bench press that much. And that's my favorite lift of all the three. Squat, bench, deadlift, bench press is now my favorite lift. It used to be squat, but squat and I have a love-hate relationship. So bench press is my favorite lift, and I want to compete again in at least bench only, just because I love bench pressing. And to see a woman be able to bench press 300 pounds, 315, more than that, that's so cool. So Jen Thompson, always awesome, always putting out social media content, still competes in, you know, her age group, which is like 50 plus, and she's just a freaking badass, also killing it. All of these people, by the way, are just badasses. So like, that's the common denominator. Like, they just work their butt off, and they're just so cool, and they just don't give up. And I love that. I mean, like, I'm sure they face a lot of adversity in their lives, but they just keep pushing through, and they just keep realizing that life is short. I'm going to be a motherfucking badass. Like, that's cool. All right. That's what we want to see in life. And that's inspiring. That's why all these people are really inspiring. Next one's Hayden Bowe, which is a hybrid performance method, and the coach, strength coach. He's a powerlifter. He's been an Olympic weightlifter. He also has a podcast called Hybrid Unlimited, and he's just always been putting out really cool stuff. And I know he's had other guests on it, like Marcus Leone, like Shane Hunt, all the awesome powerlifters, different people. He's so cool. He's just a nice guy. I've tried his programs too, and the hybrid performance programs are awesome. I might go back to their programs if I ever want to venture into Olympic weightlifting and try it, because I feel like they are really good. And they're very consistent, and they're like no baloney. Like, you're going to do really well if you stick to their programs. Just, that's it. They're exercise specialists. They are people that have degrees, certifications, tons of training experience, because knowledge without mileage is bullshit. Thank you, Chris Gethin. So I love their products. I love all their things. They're awesome. Look them up. And they've been an inspiration to me. And I love that they just casually talk, like on their podcast, Hybrid Unlimited. It's just like him and different people just shooting the breeze, because they're being real people again. And all, I think another common denominator with all these people is that they're real people. Like, yeah, again, they're famous, but they're real. And I think they're famous because they're real, and they're authentic, and they're interesting, and they're like, this is my life, and this is who I am, and take it or leave it. I ain't changing, you know. They're very set in their ways. They're kind of stubborn like that, but they also have a personality that works for them, that is of the higher standard and the no BS zone, which, again, that's, in my opinion, the reason why they're so freaking successful. And that's what I'm working on too, because that's what you got to do sometimes in life. Just put the blinders on, baby. Put the blinders on and just do your thing. The last person I wanted to talk about, someone I've been following for years. I've actually never used their product. No. I did use it once. I did use the Slingshot. I did use it once at Capital City Barbell when I was lifting there and when I worked there. But it's Mark Bell, and he's a world record holding like power lifter. I think he squatted 1,000. I forget his bench press. It's really crazy. But he's done so much. He's done like running. He's done bodybuilding. Like, he's just a hybrid athlete all around. And his podcast, The Power Project, is really cool. And I mean, I'm a power lifter, and my Instagram's Powerful Hippie. So that's what inspired Powerful Pod. But I also feel like I kind of stole it, because his is The Power Project. Sorry, Mark Bell and company. I love your podcast. You're very inspirational, clearly, because look at me. I've started a podcast, right? But I do listen to all these people regularly. Like, I listen to them all the time. I follow them on social media. I love learning about what they're doing and their commitments and their achievements and what they want to do and their vision. And because sometimes, even though you might be intrinsically motivated or extrinsically motivated, whatever it is, you might be extremely motivated, but that doesn't mean that you don't need people to kind of inspire you a little bit more or go in a different direction. That doesn't mean that you can't be inspired by other people who have been more successful than you. In my opinion, to be really successful in life, you need to follow people who are more successful than you, so you can learn from them, so that you can appreciate how much they have done in their lives and what they've had to give up and what they've had to sacrifice or what they've had to just do to be so successful and achieve maybe what you want. Follow people that are more successful than you, because more than likely you will be able to reach your goals faster, because it's like you have someone in your corner that supports you or that you can be kind of on the same page with. So again, I've been following all of these people for years, and they've really helped me on days when I just needed someone in my corner. And yes, you have friends and family. Maybe you go to therapy. Maybe you have a coach. Maybe you have all these people in your corner, but at the end of the day, it's you against you. So sometimes being inspired all the time is not going to happen. Being motivated all the time is not going to happen. But when you see people out there who are doing the things that you want to do, that's inspiring as heck. Like that will get you out of your seat, get your butt to the gym. That will help you achieve the goals, start the brand, start the podcast, start the business, do the things, be the best version of yourself. And so I just wanted to give a huge shout out to all of these people. There's so many influencers and fitness people out there, but these are the OGs. These are people that I've been following since day one. I still listen to them. I still love their content. I still think that they are just amazing people no matter what they do. Nobody's perfect, but these people really, really are hard working people that have fought demons, that have started the businesses, that have done all the things that people want to do, that just, it takes so much sacrifice to be successful in life. But then on top of that, being successful is just like one level. Being so successful that you have been able to build a brand and a community and influence people, that's just so cool. So again, from the bottom of my heart, thank you all to these people for inspiring me to go into powerlifting, to become a personal trainer, to wanting to start doing bodybuilding, to never give up my goals. I really appreciate you. You've helped me and so many people. So don't stop being you. That is today's episode. That's pretty much it. I hope you enjoyed it. Next week, I'm either going to talk about all things puppy and or nutrition and or gardening. Those are the next 3 lineup episodes. I'm leaning more towards gardening because it's summertime and people are getting into that. So I might do gardening next week. So if you have any questions, always shoot me a DM on Instagram, direct message. My Instagram, as always, is Powerful Hippie. I check my Instagram messages at least once a day, if not 5 to 10 times a day. But I really appreciate the support for this podcast episode. I really appreciate the subscription, the follow, the share. It really helps me support my channel. And again, if you use my discount code on the Redcon website, it is Powerful Hippie all together. I think it's lowercase, uppercase, it shouldn't matter. And that should save you 20% at checkout, which is pretty nice. So again, thanks for the love. I'm really excited to grow with you. And I hope that this episode brought you some inspiration and inspired you to really reach your goals and motivate you. And if it wasn't for me, maybe it's for these other people, and that's totally okay too. All right. Thank you guys. I'll see you next time. Bye.